try to get this figured out while we go ahead and we'll go ahead and flip that one. All right, Drew, that should do it. Drew, what are you drinking tonight?
Still not hearing a sound, but I forget that our Facebook video is delayed. So I'm going to turn this down now before we get that weird echo thing that, you make that faux pas on the Zoom call. And next thing you know, all your coworkers talking shit about you. But tonight I am drinking Dunkel Donut from Alementary Brewing Company. Looking forward to this one. I think you boys had a while ago. Oh, just caught up. All right, perfect. Looking forward to it. It's supposed to be a donut dunked in your coffee. And they say they don't want to tell you about how to partake with your pastry and coffee, but they do want it to be in your beer. So I think on the scale of bat flips down to crossing the mound while walking back to the dugout, I'm going to pull it at a going woof when someone's trying to catch an infield fly. It smells okay. I'm not quite catching the donut yet, but I feel like I got to give it, it's time here to get into that because it's thick, it's rich, it's bodied, it's complex. There's a lot to it. So we'll see how it stacks up.
All right, fair enough. This week I am drinking pineapple sour from 105 Brewing out of Castle Rock, Colorado. It's a 5.15% ABV brew that's got some pretty decent ratings on Untapped. I'm getting into sours a little bit more, so I was excited for this one. They do say that this one has pineapple with a hint of caramel, Scott. It's got a hint of caramel in with this one.
God, you're bound to determined to pronounce food wrong tonight, aren't you? God, it never fails.
But on the scale from crossing the mound, running back to the dugout, all the way up to bat flips, this one right now ranks in at bunting to break up a no-hitter because it is solid. It is up there. Really good pineapple flavor right off the tip. It's a tart sour. It's really good. I'm a big fan of this one. All new edition of Craft Brew Sports starting up in just a second here. Please go ahead and hit share and let us know below what you guys are drinking and rate it on the baseball unwritten rules scale. It is Wednesday night, and that means it is time to get drunk with us here at Craft Root Sports, the only place for the drunkest, stupidest sports takes on the internet. I am Mike. With me, as always, is Scott. Scott, how you feeling tonight, man?
Feeling great. Feeling good. How are you?
Excellent. Thank you. Drew, how you feeling tonight, buddy?
It is a beautiful pre-fall evening here in Cincinnati. I'm here for it, man. I'm loving it.
Dude, you aren't lying. Like, I walked back to the car today, and I was like, man, it is a bit chilly on this walk back to the car.
It's a tidbit nipply, absolutely.
I did not like that. And then I was like, oh, wait, it's the end of August. That's right. Like, normally I should be getting ready for football to be happening in, like, a week. But it's not, so,
man up and stop being some bitches.
Nope. I like to be a bitch.
Being a bitch here,
bro.
There's nothing I love more than jeans and hoodie weather, bro.
I like shorts and hoodie weather. Shorts and hoodie weather is the way to go.
God, it's worse than your food pronunciations. I hate hoodie and shorts guy.
Hoodie and shorts guy is the way to be, man.
No, the only way to top it off is to be wearing flip-flops with it.
I was going to say, how about hoodie, shorts, flip-flops with socks guy?
Ooh, sliders and socks. Yeah, that's too much.
That's got Mike written all over.
Too much.
It
Nope.
really does.
Too much. We got an awesome show for you guys tonight. Please be sure to hit share, help us out, get us out in front of all your friends. We're going to be talking some Big Ten news and all of their flip-flopping that's going on. We got some baseball news out of Cleveland and a mutiny that happened within their clubhouse. We also got some Vince Carter hot take. And some Rose Lavelle news that we're going to get into as well. Plus, Scott will do that hockey, everybody's favorite segment. And we're going to roast baseball. We're going to roast some baseball tonight. Also, special treat at the end of the episode, towards the end here, I am going to do a dramatic reading of Damian Lillard's latest track live from the bubble.
Excuse you, Dame.
Dude spits fire.
Dame Dalla. Yes,
Dame
I will do Dame Dalla's dramatic reading of Dame Dalla. So be sure to stick around for that because
you definitely got to stick around for that.
It will be
put some respect on his name, bro.
It will be the dumbest thing that I've ever done, and I can't
wait
wait
to
for
chop
it.
it up.
I don't know. I'd qualify quite as that, Mike. You've covered a lot in your years, my man.
That's a fair point. Before we get into any of that, though, let's get into On Deck. And On Deck is brought to you by Beer Drop. That's where we get our beers from the show. You can get your beers from them, too. Do you guys want award-winning craft beers delivered straight to your door starting at under $4 a serving? Of course you do. And our friends at Beer Drop can hook you up. Fill out your flavor profile, sign up for one of their monthly plans, and they will curate a box of fresh award-winning craft beer that will be sent directly to your door. You can swap out your beers, add more, skip a month, and if you don't like commitment, you can still go and order just on your own. You can just pick out beers that you like and order it there. Just head on over to craftrootsports.com/beerdrop and start to fill out your profile today. All right, fellas. This week on Deck, I believe we're going to have Mookie lead us off for On Deck. So, Mookie, when you are ready, sir, and I know you like to wait until the music ends, so I'm going to vamp a little bit.
Gotta let it build.
You're on deck, Mookie.
George! All right, ladies and gentlemen, I got some quality sports news coming to you here from across the pond. Oh, yeah, absolutely, my man. Obviously, we live in some unprecedented times. There's a lot going on in terms of, reform, major change. Things are happening in our world. And, now more than ever, people are really pushing for the social change and justice we need. And that is no more apparent than in Germany this last week, because there was a soccer match held to protest the commercialization and the cheapening of the beautiful game by a bunch of old dudes playing butt-ass naked. That is right. We had 22 dudes on a soccer field this last week playing in nothing but cleats, socks, and the birthday suits. And they did so to protest the commercialization of soccer, saying that the game has gotten away from its authenticity. There's too much focus on the money, too much focus on how much sponsorship dollars you can get from the names on the jersey, on the fronts, less than the guys on the back, but even more so than just paying attention to the authenticity of the game. And as quoted, the 34-year-old artist, whose name I'm not even going to bother trying to pronounce, said, "The football system is sick. That is why we all got naked." Everybody wants to have authenticity, but I think you're only particularly authentic if you do without all the other stuff, really everything, from the advertising banners to the clothing. And so as a result of that, they played naked because he thinks that FIFA, football's governing body, for some reason has alleged rampant, systematic, deep-rooted corruption. Wow. I never would have considered why that would be the case when we're playing a World Cup in Qatar where it's too damn hot in the summer to be outside, let alone play a match. Whatever. Anyways, there's no corruption in football.
This reminds me of longtime listeners' favorite episode where we talked about which would you rather watch people play naked, and I said basketball because of all the nuts in the face.
Right. What a terrible take that was, that you would prefer basketball as the nude sport to watch. Like, you were all about it. You wanted that contact. You were, as a matter of fact, I think you said, I want to see some dude back somebody down in a lane completely naked, which was the weirdest way you could get
because I just think it would be hilarious to watch all these dudes, being so shy about everything, or conversely, allowing themselves to not get posterized. Well, see, Scott, everybody getting out of the way because they're like, well, I'm not getting that giant dong in my face.
Here's the thing about it. You talk about being shy, but you know what, man? These guys got a point. And he says, again, with my nude actions, I also want to set an example for diversity, naturalness, and against the dependence and influence of social media and false ideals of beauty. And you know what? My man with a European name I can't pronounce, I stand with you, bruv. So let's do this.
Whoa, what are you doing, Drew? Wait a second. Hang on. Whoa, cut. Okay, hey, whoa. All right, hey, I'm on deck. Hey, look at that. I'm on deck. Woo. I got a little.
For what you believe in, ladies and gentlemen. Stand up. Be who you are. That
got a little weird. All right, hey, listen, let's go from nudity to swearing. Let's just get all the PG-13 out of the way here. This is coming to you live from the NBA bubble. TNT Audio apparently had to drop a total of 16 times per 48 minutes when Melo was on the court. And by comparison, if you're wondering if that's high or low, by comparison, they had to drop 9.8 times per 48 minutes when he wasn't on the court. So I have issue with this in general. Number one, why are we even worried about hearing swear words. Like, that's part of the reason why I was excited for the bubble, was to hear these players swearing at each other and swearing while they're playing. You're right. But they decided to put in a delay, and they would drop the audio if they were swearing. But apparently the problem is Melo has this thing where when he goes up for a rebound, he just loves to yell, "It's mine, get the fuck out of here." And then everybody backs away from him. Like, that's his whole thing, is every time he goes up for the ball, he just yells, "Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here." They have to drop 16 times per 48 minutes, as opposed to less than 10 when he's not on the floor. I got to know, guys, does this make Melo more of a fan favorite in your mind? The fact that he is swearing so much on the court?
Yes.
And I mean, Melo's been a long time fan favorite. I mean, he straight up admitted he was just hanging out in New York to cash them checks. So I've been a long time Melo fan. The only shame of this is that he's getting the least amount of minutes of his career at this point, because it's on the tail end of it. I mean, I wish there was more fuck out of here's that we had in our future.
How weak sauce is this that the NBA is dropping that? Like,
this is some old NHL shit. That's how weak sauce
it really is. It's like when I'm watching college football, I'll never forget there was a time when I was watching a Michigan State game, and where the camera was positioned, you heard somebody in the stands just start yelling at a player on the field, calling him some of the worst names I had ever heard in my life, and it broadcast through on ABC at 2:30 in the afternoon on a Saturday, and I was like, this is beautiful TV. I would watch this every single week. I don't understand why we have to get this watered down. There's no fans, so you can hear stuff, so now we have to mute it. It's like, no, man. If we don't have fans and we don't have that crowd noise, I want to hear this kind of thing.
Dude, that's the stuff I've been saying for years. Like, HBO clearly understands what they got with Hard Knocks. So when are they going to man the F up and broadcast games live with the craft brewed after dark treatment? You know what I mean? Like, I'll be honest, I would think about paying for HBO for Hard Knocks, but I can find other ways to get that content. But if you're going to give me live sports with no editing whatsoever, like, I don't even give a shit about their play calls anymore, because the XFL's got me covered. I want to hear dudes talking real junk to each other, because there is nothing better than watching those YouTube videos of NHL players talking trash to each other, where you're sitting there going, what did he say? How is he talking about him? And you give me that for all the sports, that would be fantastic.
I think we should have players mic'd up, and there should be an option that you can go to that is, it could be just a streaming only option, but we should be able to hear all of that. I'm on board with all of it.
I feel like we should brand this too. It should be CBS Sports. Turn over to CBS for all of your unedited sporting needs. And then they're like, oh, it's just Phil and company. I hate these losers, but then they'll find us one way or the other.
Scott, this is a great idea, though. Think about it, right? Like, those idiots at baseball games who wear their headphones because I like the radio broadcast better, basically Mike when he's at Red Stadium.
Wow.
We could do that with any actual sporting event and just be the real live audio and do the lip reading thing.
I'm pretty sure that's illegal, and you need express written consent in order to do that.
No. I'm not saying, no, we don't broadcast the video.
Oh.
We just essentially live tweet on audio.
All right. I'm back on board.
Reading of what's going on in the field.
I'm back on board.
I'm on board with anything that people find us doing. How about that?
There you go. That's a fair point. That's a very fair point. I want to blow the F up.
By the way, Tyson calling out, Scott hearts him some BBC.
Yes, he does. And speaking of that,
that's never been a note.
Scott, you on deck. What you got for us?
I got more BBC. We're moving to Jimmy Butler talk, because this bubble, God. Did we ever know how much we really needed the NBA? No, when we look back at this COVID period, the only thing I'm going to remember is how great the NBA bubble was, because we thought we'd struggled when there was no sports going on. And all I keep thinking about is how much we're going to struggle when the NBA bubble no longer exists. Like when they go back to playing regular NBA basketball, what the hell are we going to talk about? I don't even want to talk about regular sports anymore.
I'm actually interested in basketball
forever. Make these guys commit to playing in a bubble throughout their entire careers, because it's just fantastic stories. Like this one this week, Jimmy Butler is charging people for use of his French press coffee maker. Dude is out here making millions of dollars on a contract that he just re-upped not that long ago, and is $20 a pop charging people to get use of his. The good news is It's like McDonald's where you buy a $1 drink. You can get it in whatever size you want. It doesn't matter. It costs $1. So if you're stupid enough to get the small, go for it. You're going to pay $1. But if you want to get the biggest one, go nuts. Still cost you $1. That's what Jimmy's got.
I gotta know, Scott, does he have the sizes as small, medium, and large, or did he go like Starbucks style with like venti, all the weird stuff not actual small, medium, large?
He just went with small, medium, large, but there are no IOUs. You can't get comp to cup or anything like that.
Let me just hold that, man.
But you have access to
straight
everything.
cash, homie, right? Or is he doing Venmo? Is it that contactless payment?
You know what? It didn't say how he was collecting cash.
I would be
but
super intrigued by that.
My guess is he's out here just straight hustling cash. Like, you got to have this $20 now.
Well, so here's what it is, Mike. The way he's doing it is he's doing it Black Mamba, Magnum, Mike Berlin size. That's how he's stacking it up.
I don't know what that means.
I think you know exactly what that means.
Oh, we know it up.
I'm gonna pretend to not know.
I will say,
by the way,
you know what? It ain't even about the money, right? What Jimmy Butler's trying to do is make sure that people that want this coffee are for real about this coffee. Because I don't know if you boys ever had French press. One, it's delicious. Two, it's a pain in the ass to make and takes time. So, like, don't come in here trifling over, like, you want my coffee and I'm going to do all this shit. And then you're going to peace out, not be here to drink it, enjoy it, and, like, really have a, sophisticated palate for it.
Well, you think
he's
Jimmy's
trying to
out
weed
here
out
French
the
pressing
pretenders.
a cup of coffee? Like, he's just letting people have used to it. My question is, how come Jimmy Butler's the only one with a French press coffee maker? In the
Also,
how did that happen?
Pressing them, right?
Also, there's been some crazy things that have been brought into the bubble. Like, somebody brought in like a full-size refrigerator into their hotel room. Like, not a mini fridge, they brought a full-size refrigerator.
Yeah.
They've had some crazy things shipped into the bubble. So you're right, Scott. I don't know how nobody else has one of these fancy espresso machines.
They're more worried about where they're getting their weed, and I get it, man. Like, how are you gonna get that in the bubble?
You ship that in.
I guarantee you they're finding a way to get that.
Yeah, that's.
I guarantee you the NBA isn't worried about that. They're worried about they're worried about COVID.
You know what?
NBA already said they weren't testing.
They're like
it's Carlos down to room 305. That's what it is. You just go see Carlos in room 305. Like,
they might just provide weed in the bubble. Like, look, we know the deal.
Dude, could you imagine the day here soon? I bet you within the next 5 years we're gonna see NBA branded weed.
Sure. I'm gonna be like, hey, let me get some of that Jimmy Butler.
Right? Like, think about it. The
NBA smoking that Jimmy Butler tonight?
The NBA knows how to be ahead of the curve and how to make a buck.
You
right?
gotta go for the bowl. You want a bowl of bowl.
Yes.
Get you 7 feet high. Here we go, baby. Let's do it.
Okay, but not to be outdone, because we got to keep this train moving. There's more NBA bubble talk, and this one is fantastic. We gotta break this down. So the Hornets radio announcer, his first year in his gig, name doesn't matter. He got suspended indefinitely this week because in a tweet while talking about the Hornets playoff game with the Nuggets, he instead mistyped niggers. I find it so incredibly hilarious when I found this story, because I got to thinking, and Mike and I were having this conversation. How many times do you have to, if you mistype the word niggers, have it either autocorrect to show up in your tweet to become niggers and suggest something else, or be typing so quickly, like say he was typing and it just rolls so naturally off of his thumbs that it's like, yeah, I didn't mean it. I meant nuggets, but I type niggers so often that it was just, a memory function. Like, I just kept doing it. Oops, my bad.
At risk of exposing the behind the curtain a little bit, can I ask a clarifying question? Was this in the group chat?
No, this was a tweet.
Good.
Yeah.
The dude sent
no. I mean, no. When you were talking to Mike about it, was it in the thread?
No.
It was in the group thread, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't group chat. I don't think it was group chat.
Okay, I don't feel so bad then, because the go-to is when shit like that happens or whatever. It's a fuck you, Steve Jobs.
And yes, but here's the thing. So I tried to mistype nigger. One, it doesn't come up with the little red line.
That's what I was gonna say.
It doesn't come up with a little red line under it, but it does make suggestions. Did you mean bigger? Like, you
yes,
wanted bigger there, right?
I also tested it.
Mistyping, did I accidentally
I can't.
It didn't suggest nuggets. I also tried typing in nuggets to see if it was like, hey, did you mean nigger? It didn't happen.
I tested spelling nuggets with an I to see if it would like autocorrect to it. Nothing. It was just like, you know how it's like, it like has the what it thinks like what you actually spelled and then blank. Yes. Mine was just blank. It was like, I don't know what the hell you were going for on that one, man.
Yeah.
And then I tried
Matt
to
Barr
do
is pointing out the phone
learned it.
Yes.
And I'll tell you what,
Yes.
homeboys, and I'm sorry, Tim, shout out to my boy, but like, I'm sorry, but homeboy had to have an Android because iPhone don't let you do that. Like, I've tried so hard to teach my phone the normal swear words.
I was going to say...
Just last weekend, it finally learned shit, and I about had a birthday party for it.
I was going to say, Steve Jobs...
It took my phone to learn that I was out here spelling niggas with an A-S. Like, it took it forever. Now, it just assumes, like, it autocorrects something. I'm like, no, I didn't mean niggas there. Calm down, iPhone.
No, I meant hard R here. Come on, iPhone.
Yeah, but I mean, even to get it to do the slang, it was like, I don't know if that's what he meant, but I'm pretty sure after about 4 years of him typing this, I think I figured him out. So the only way to mistype it is, again, to either be typing it so much that it's just naturally what you typed in, or, your phone did autocorrect it and you mistyped, but it's because you type it so much that it knew what you were trying to type.
Well, and here's the other thing. If that's the reality, you need a burner phone. Sorry, bro, but you need a burner phone where you tweet your official tweets from. Like,
unreal that was the tweet.
Mike Vick knew this shit back in like 2002.
Who?
How do you keep two
You mean Ron Mexico?
2 cell phones. Exactly. Ron Mexico.
Matt Barr saying...
And I mentioned this to Mike in this conversation.
Yes, Matt Barr crushing it over here.
I can only imagine him texting somebody else and saying, I just found out that my daughter is marrying a nugget. And then having to send the, oops, I got autocorrected. And the other person being like, wait a minute, what did you mean if you didn't mean marrying a nugget?
So
is she marrying Nene? No?
So wait, real quick, Mike, before you play us out of this segment, in other autocorrect news, I'm replying here to our boy Matt Barr, and I type thank Y, and my iPad goes, U4 tap your tap service.
Fantastic.
So my iPad is already thanking Matt Barr for his service before I have to do any of that shit. So shout out to autocorrect working once in a while.
All I gotta say to wrap this up is nuggets ain't shit.
That's been On Deck, brought to you by Beer Drop. Again, craftbrewsports.com/beer drop. $5 flat shipping on your order. Sign up for a subscription. Subscription start.
This On Deck's got Mike all
as
up,
low.
Man.
All of I mean, I can't. Oh, good
dropping
Lord.
N-words left and right. Male nudity.
It's very warm in the studio down here, fellas. Very warm. Brought to you by Beer Drop. Hit them up. craftbrewsports.com/beer drop. All right, fellas, let's give the people what they want. Let's just stick to sports, guys. Let's stick to sports and do some sports talk.
Do that hockey.
No, we'll get to do that hockey. That's coming up here.
What people want.
That's coming up right after we stick to sport, because we got to stick to sports, Drew.
We got to stick to
sports. This is a sports
first,
show. We stick to sports here on this show.
Hockey in a sport, right?
No, it's not a sport. Not how we do it. Not how we do that hockey.
Not America.
Since we're talking basketball, let's start off there. Have you guys been watching any of the playoffs leading up to this point?
Basketball?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've been tuning into Denver games to make sure they're called correctly.
Fucking Giannis, what are you doing the other night, man? Losing me money over here.
Dude,
Shit.
I love the overreactions that we're seeing after one game in a series. Like, the Lakers lose and the Bucks lose, and people are like, whoa, that's it. These are the most overrated 1 seeds we've ever seen. Charles Barkley is saying the Lakers are going to get swept now by the Blazers. Like, he thinks they're going to get swept because they lost the first game. I
don't
understand.
give a shit if they get swept. They lost me money. Fuck it. How are you going to not only not cover but get beat straight up?
I want Dalla Dame to sweep them right on out. Fuck the Lakers.
Man,
could you imagine the diss tracks that come out?
I was going to say, how fire is that track going to be if Dame sweeps the Lakers? That's going to be an amazing
let's just say
track.
This show needs the Lakers to get swept.
So can I ask an OWG question?
Of course, always.
Please.
Where does one find these Dame diss tracks that are
SoundCloud
articles?
SoundCloud. He's on. He's a SoundCloud rapper.
I was just gonna say the Googles will help you out massively there, man. I mean, it's not
it's embedded in just about every article that's been written about. Like, you just have to search
His name, and it's like the top 3.
I think that might pop up on Google before saying he's a basketball player. Like, it might just be like.
I mean, at this point, it probably should, right? Here's what I want to know: if he's on SoundCloud, he ain't catching no dollars for this. So is he really Dame Dollar?
Yeah, he's still Dame Dollar. Like, he doesn't have to sell the raps. Also, we'll talk about that rap because it was awful.
So,
like, people
Scott,
are blowing him about it,
long-
but it was awful.
How long do I have to keep saying Dame Dollar before Mike corrects me?
I didn't even realize you were saying Dame Dollar. I didn't realize there was a hard R on that one.
Yeah, that's racist. I didn't even catch that, but not shocking.
It happens. But I will say this, like, it's interesting to me, especially like with the NHL and the NBA following the same sort of format. Like, it was nice having the games back, but that like weird switch between the whatever you want to call them, round robin, play in, whatever the hell, and then the playoff bracket elimination stuff. It seems like it's a really hard switch to flip. And I think that's really a lot of it, is that like, especially for Giannis and the Lakers, like the games kind of matter, but not really. And then now it's like, oh, wait, shit. Yeah, this is a playoff series. And what's interesting to me, and I want to talk about this, is that in hockey, being the home team still has an advantage. And Scott will tell us about that later. But in basketball, there's nothing, like, who cares if you're the 1 seed, right? Like, there's really no difference besides the jersey you wear.
I mean, in this year specifically, it really doesn't matter. At least there is.
Well, no, wait, actually, sorry. The Lakers, they did have to change their introduction.
They did change their
something,
introduction.
right?
That's a good point. But like normally there is a benefit to being to the number 1 seed and getting that home court advantage. But this year it really doesn't matter. There is no, and that's what a lot of people are pointing to as why this is the most open playoffs that we are ever going to see. Not only do you have the fact that the league has balanced out. You don't have like one super team and then LeBron carrying the Cavs through the awful East to get to the finals for the 19th millionth time in the row. But now we have like stars on every team, and it's the big 2 again rather than this big 3, big 4 league. So it is more spread out, and it does make for a more interesting product on the court.
Well, and I just think you factor in the fact that all of these teams and all these players, like, it was just who was going to get hot the fastest, because you had this long ass layoff. It didn't matter what was going on, 3 or 4 months ago when everything happened. All that mattered is, oh, wait, we got on a hot streak and bam, ran it through the title because of these, unique conditions. And so it's like
the March Madness effect, right?
Right. I mean, like, you can literally throw the seeds right out of the window. And to be honest, I mean, everybody kept saying down the stretch, of these, the last couple of weeks, or when everything kind of got back in motion, was, first of all, after everybody realized, all right, the NBA tried to get the Hornets in and rig it, but that isn't going to happen. But
Pelicans.
Wait a minute, though. Look at Lillard over here. He's doing these things that could really give could really give the Lakers trouble. And all of a sudden it's like, it's not that far-fetched to think, like, all you got to do as Portland is like, there may be an asterisk next to it someday, but might as well get hot and run through it. They're still going to rock that ring.
Well, see, and that's what I'm curious to see about how people's legs keep up too, though, right? So like these guys, they took, what is it, 2-3 months off, essentially? 3 months?
3 months off.
They're on the shelf for 3 months. So like there's definitely like a healing effect, but then after that you lose some of your wind. And so that's where I'm curious to see, not that I'd ever doubt the King, but like, is it going to be harder for him to get back into basketball shape? Because he would basically coast through January and February, and March is like, all right, I got to play ball again to get ready for June. And now he's got that weird thing where he may have wound down, and he could be in the gym every day, but unless he was just, facialing on his kids and, dropping that BBC when he's backing them down, like, he's not going to have the same sort of legs for a 48-minute game.
That's a fair point. And I'm glad you brought up the King, because there was a hot take from Vince Carter who said that if Kawhi and the Clippers win another title, if Kawhi wins another title, which would be his 3rd title with a 3rd team, he would have three titles from...
3rd or 4th?
It would be his 3rd, right? He had one with
Didn't
San Antonio, one with Toronto, and then this would be his 3rd. Did he catch 2 with the Spurs? Where's Scott
a
to
good-
fact check us?
No, I was just gonna say that's a good question because I was sitting there
the
trying to
Googles.
recollect real quick. I'm like, I feel like he obviously had one, but he had to have been there for one of the other ones,
I could have
right?
sworn he had two. Hold
I
on.
thought he had one with San Antonio.
Don't worry, Wikipedia will tell me what I need to know.
All right, well, you do that. I'll talk about Vince Carter's
It's
take
probably
here.
just because the Spurs won so many over a prolonged amount of time. We're actually forgetting that Kawhi was only there for that back end, and
Right, and Kawhi is so young.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Only 2-time, 14 and 19.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So if he wins again, Vince Carter is saying that he should be in the conversation as the GOAT, along with MJ, Kobe, and LeBron. He would say he would put him right up there with those guys. Do you guys agree?
Man, so here's the thing, right?
No.
What's really hard with basketball more than
This
any
guy's
other
like, it's
sport,
not Jordan.
I think. But, well, we can talk about Michael later. Separating the man as he is to the game versus the man he is to the economics or whatever you want to call it. Like Michael revolutionized basketball. He turned basketball players into global icons. Kobe won a bunch of rings, but he didn't do that. LeBron then took it to the next level, and he's won less than Michael, but has probably done a similar amount of impact for the game. Kawhi hasn't, but he's going to win the same amount of rings. So like, that's where it's like, how do you separate those? Like what you do for the game versus like how much you win? Like, how do you stack that up in basketball? Because more than any other sport, with 5 dudes on the court, one guy can make a huge difference. Whereas like Tom Brady, everyone knows he's the GOAT.
Here's why I
Wait, what?
I was wondering if I could,
That took a hard left there at the
I
end.
was wondering if I could slip that in, even though he's wearing a Bucks jersey.
No,
Feel like a
you couldn't
fool.
just slip that in. I think my face was like, what?
Matt Barr wanting to know why Kobe's listed. Kobe's number 3 on
He's
the.
got 5 rings. He's got 5 titles.
I would
And
put
guess
Kobe number
You go
3.
Tim Duncan. You could go. What's his name? That other guy.
I got Robert.
Guy.
I got Robert Ory over Kobe. He's got one.
Was it Robert at
Big
7?
Bob. Big
Yeah,
shot Bob.
big. I was gonna say big game Bob.
Which again tells you everything you need to know, though, because he's got more than any player in basketball that's not called Wilt the Stilt. No,
Yeah,
Bill
but-
Russell. Bill Russell.
Bill
That's
Russell
my
is
bad.
yeah.
I mean, on a serious note, though, the only reason
Look at a soccer
Kawhi
kid talking
doesn't
basketball, though.
doesn't really have to be in that conversation yet is because you need more than just the rings, and you need a little bit more accolades. Like Kawhi does himself no favors because he's super quiet and like.
All right, so.
But he needs
because
more
you said
like
accolades,
solo
though, Scott.
accolades. Like
Because-
he doesn't. He doesn't have like the scoring titles, and Kawhi
Right.
really takes
right.
advantage of that
Oh,
load
boys.
management bullshit that's being pushed in the NBA lately. And he took an entire year off in San Antonio where he was like, "Look, I'm just not playing this year," and they were like, "All right, fine, go to Toronto then."
Wow.
So I can't put him in that conversation just for the simple fact that yes, he might get rings, but he also during the regular season isn't that guy, you know?
So 3 things. 1, Scott, we need to figure out how to mute Mike on command. 2, let me read down these accolades real quick. And then 3, Matt Barr. Oh boy, that kid, he needs some attention.
Yeah,
because he's just
he
throwing
wants us
shit.
to fire up the barbecue on him so
we'll,
bad.
We'll get to the barbecue real quick, but let me go through Kawhi's accolades real quick as told by Wikipedia. 2-time NBA champion, 2-time finals MVP, 4-time All-Star, which seems low. All-Star game MVP, 2-time NBA All First Team, 1-time Second Team, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, 3-time All Defensive First Team, 2-time All Defensive Second Team, Rookie of the Year, and then Steals Leader and AP Athlete of the Year.
So what you're telling me is he led one statistical category for a year his entire career. Okay, good to know. Yep, not the GOAT. He never.
Yeah, I love Kawhi, but it just.
I'm not saying he's the GOAT, but conversation.
No, I don't even think he's really close. Like I wouldn't put him top 10.
I wouldn't. I mean, I maybe top 10, maybe, but
No,
definitely not
greatest of all
GOAT.
time. Like greatest of the last, decade, greatest of the last 20 years.
Oh, but here's the other thing though.
But not
Kawhi,
greatest of all
he's
time.
young-ish. He's
No,
29.
but that's the thing. He's got time, but
Yeah, I was
right
gonna say, he's
now,
got
But
like
but
5,
yeah,
6
like
years.
if
he
the
wins this year,
Right.
it still doesn't solidify. the GOAT.
Exactly.
How do we ban
Way
Ed,
more.
Gary freaking Clark? Get the hell out of here with that shit.
Big Ed. Also, Ed and Tyson pointing out that Tom Brenneman is getting grilled on Twitter right now because he
Thank
apparently
God.
I don't know if it was an autocorrect or what, but during the broadcast, during the Reds broadcast, he slipped and used a homophobic slur during the game and is getting destroyed on Twitter right now. So this is probably the last game that we have Tom Brenneman calling a Reds game. And as of...
No, because let me tell you how it works. Braves have guys that are out here doing things, racial slurs or whatever. They'll just relegate them somewhere else.
Right.
They put Joe Simpson on radio instead of having him be
Also, it's Cincinnati, man. Like, I wish we were more tolerant here and progressive.
Yeah,
but
that's
we're
a good
not.
point.
It's sad.
They'll be like, Tom got COVID, so...
Oh, he said the F word? Nah, he was probably just talking about getting a smoke in. Anyways, let's
probably,
go.
He's probably hanging around with Mookie too much, if that's what he brought.
Whoa.
And
Tyson, I like my
Tyson,
P-Funks. Is there anything wrong with that?
Tyson, that was the joke. Tyson saying it wasn't autocorrect if he said it with his mouth. That was the joke I was going for. Thank you for pointing that out. Matt Bart, let's get to his hot take here
Yeah, I
real
was gonna
quick.
say we gotta get back to
Because
that.
he's
yeah.
saying
we gotta talk about Matt Barr's charcoal briquette.
He's saying
hamburger.
in no particular order: Jordan, LeBron, Shaq, Duncan, Bird, Magic, Russell, Kareem, Wilt, and Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon.
Matt,
He
you
is
can
saying
clean up the formatting there a little bit. Like, this is hard to read, bro.
Kobe nowhere in the top 10. He wouldn't put
Nowhere
Kobe
in the
Bryant
top
in the
10.
top 10. It's
also
Shaq
also
at
strange, but
3.
I respect it that he's got Russell Westbrook in there. That's nice. I mean, I don't refer to him by his first name, but
I mean, most people call him Russ instead of Russell, but whatever.
Yeah.
That's a cool take. Also, is that Sue Bird? Does he have Sue Bird in his top 10?
She's Hall of Fame, but I don't know about.
I wouldn't put her I wouldn't put her
5.
in. I wouldn't put her up there with like Jordan and LeBron. Like Sue Bird doesn't deserve to be up that high. And also, he just put the entire Orlando Magic team on there, which doesn't seem fair, especially since he has Shaq and Magic was really only good with Shaq and Penny. So
he left out Ho Grant. So
it's just
a really incomplete list.
It's just not a great go-to on that one, Matt Barr. I apologize. I'm gonna have to give you a frozen freezer meat on that take. All right, good talk.
I was gonna say, I was like,
with the computer ding right on accidental cue.
Which, by the way,
the
Sherm,
group
I think
chat
was again our buddy Tim. He linked the tweet and just goes, "Well, Tom's done." And it's the audio. I don't know. Can you play? Can you play a Twitter audio? We probably should.
No, we probably
That's a
couldn't
bad
because
idea.
it's an MLB broadcast, so we wouldn't be able to do that.
Oh,
Let's
right,
talk
that's
MLB
why.
though.
Not because of the homophobic slur, because of the copyright thing.
Right, the copyright thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's. I'll throw Tom under the bus, no problem. Let's talk MLB though. Let's get into some baseball because there was some news out of Cleveland. So back at the beginning part of August, the Indians were playing the White Sox in Chicago. Clevinger and Plesac went out on the town in Chicago and were hanging out and partying. They tried to sneak back into the hotel. Plesac got caught and got shipped back to Cleveland in a car. Like, they didn't even fly him back. They were like, we are driving you back to Cleveland because you could have been exposed to COVID. You're not coming in the hotel. You're out.
Was this
You're
like
going.
an Uber? Was this like a yellow cab taxi situation?
I mean,
was it his mama?
Let's
Like,
face it, it was
how do you ship him
probably
back?
some poor intern that had to rent a car and drive him all the way back to Cleveland from Chicago.
on their own credit card and then get
reimbursed.
later.
Yes.
Yeah.
But so anyways, Clevinger, as part of this, was like, I can't believe you would do that. You can't lie to the team like that. Yeah, you put us all at risk. Clevinger was out with him, and it came out that Clevinger was out as well. Only he didn't get caught. He snuck back into the hotel, flew with the team back to Cleveland, potentially exposing all these players. So when it came out that Clevinger was also involved in this, they had a team meeting, and basically all of these players were like, look, I'm out. If something doesn't happen with these two, I am gone. I'm opting out of the season. You have a guy on the team who literally had leukemia last year, and these guys are going out and risking their teammates' health by going to party in Chicago, which
Wait, why
doesn't.
is the guy with leukemia playing? Motherfucker,
He's back.
He's at home.
He's back, bro. He's back. He's better. He's
You're
on the
talking
mend.
about Carlos Carrasco, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he may be back and whatnot, but Jesus H. Christ, son, like, take a seat for the. Not that I appreciate him stepping in. Damn it.
Nah,
Baseball ain't worth it.
This is pretty simple. Fuck him. Like I'd be on the same boat if they're not off the team or.
Oh, I don't disagree with that. I'm
gotta
just like,
go.
what are you doing, bro? You should
This
be
shit
in a
is
fucking
too
bubble.
No, I know, but this
Like
shit
a
is
bubble
too
boy bubble. You had
serious.
leukemia.
This shit's too serious to be playing around, especially if a guy's gonna make up a story afterwards too and pretend like he wasn't out too. That's even worse. Like I'm looking at Clevinger way worse than I'm looking at.
This is why this shit's
looking
gonna
at the other
turn
one,
into motherfucking Mexico and Canada building walls for us, and we ain't gonna be stuck here because we're gonna be the dumbass motherfuckers that can't figure this shit out doing crap like this, while the rest of the world is like, hey. This is for real.
right.
Let's just have a shitty 2020 and then we'll get past it. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, what is actually open in Chicago that's worth it, first of all?
Well, that's what I don't
a
understand.
Shit-ass city in the first place. They're
Whoa,
probably
well, hang on.
Oh, yeah, I'm
hang
going
on.
there right now because I'm mad.
Hang on,
I'm mad.
I like Chicago.
No. Hold on a minute.
Mute that
Hold
man.
on a minute. No,
Mute that
no,
man.
I will not be muted right now because I'm going to go after this. Like, there ain't shit that you can do in Chicago that you can't do somewhere else. And let's be honest here. You're lucky to be getting paid to play baseball 60 games this year. Like, so just put it on a fucking shelf right now, bro, because all you're going to do is get out there and get a little herpes and, like, nothing from it. Like, I don't understand the lack of self-awareness.
Chicago's the top 3 city in the country. I won't hear anything of it.
I would agree. I would also agree. Chicago is fantastic. It's a
I
great
want to
place.
hear your
to
other two, and then I'd maybe be in.
New
You
York.
don't need to hear my other 2. I said it's the top 3. And no, New York sure as hell ain't making the top 3.
Well, I know you wouldn't put New York up there, but
Where
most
does
people would.
Muncie rate, though?
Well, I may have to reconsider my list.
See, man?
You're giving me
come on.
something to think about.
Small towns for the win.
All right, but
Look,
here's
and
the.
you're right. I got to clarify again. I stepped over a line, but I'm just mad because it's just fucking selfish. Chicago is great, but not right now. Like, 'cause
Tyson giving you some props though, Mookie, saying your Canada and Mexico building a wall take is the funniest thing you've ever said on the show. So well done, tip of the cap to you for reaching the
good?
apex.
Is that bad?
But then he followed it up with
wait, Tyson
ruined
hates
it because
me.
you crapped on Chicago.
Right.
So there's
all I'm
that.
saying
but-
is, what are you doing out in Chicago? Where are you going in Chicago right
Chicago
now?
that's
is
a private
awesome,
party.
but more importantly,
It's not
I was
that it's
actually
not awesome,
surprised.
but like, what the fuck are you gonna do? You can't go get a deep dish, sit down, and drink 19 beers.
I was
anymore.
supposed to be in Chicago 2 weekends ago and had to cancel the trip because everything in
Tyson
Chicago
said
shut
it.
down. I have
That's my point.
zero
What the
clue.
fuck are you doing out there?
There are.
there's
I would
nothing
love
to
to
do.
know what these baseballers
Listen.
are finding to do.
If Magic City in Atlanta is open, there are clubs that are open in Chicago. They may
There were no
not be.
titties there, Mike.
They may not be the nicest places to go to, but they're open.
But I mean, if you're just trying to get wings, that's a different story.
That's a fair point. But
All
listen,
I'm saying
hang
is,
on.
Tyson, by the way, and I'm talking to you specifically right now because I want you to know I love and appreciate Chicago, but Chicago right now ain't Chicago. It's like not even the JV; it's the freshman team of Chicago.
Hang on.
You're
Let's.
better off partying at the hotel.
We gotta move forward because this show is gonna go really long if we keep talking about Chicago and whether or not it is worthwhile to be there during a pandemic. But I want to get to this kind of conspiracy theory that goes along with this. So there is some playing implication. There's some implications based on these guys going down that could end up benefiting the Indians in the long run. So Clevinger and Plesac are both like solid members of this pitching staff. They are great pitchers. Clevinger he's got to be one, like he's their ace, right? It's either 1 or 2, Scott.
I was gonna say, I think Bieber is their best pitcher.
That's right. Justin Bieber is the
Yeah,
I was just gonna say, I
pitcher.
thought all he does is curl.
But Plesac is also up there as like a very good option in this Indians rotation. So here's the thing: based on the number of days that their service has been accruing or whatever, if Clevinger remains on option down to their secondary squad for 20 days, which is not that long. Like, that's a very realistic thing based on what he did, just because they could be like, you got to quarantine. We got to quarantine you. That leaves him at the end of the season with 3 years, 171 days, which is 1 day short of reaching 4 years of service, which could delay his free agency by an entire year. And then Plesac...
And Major League Baseball's rules are so fucking
They're so dumb. Because if he had 3 years and 172 days, then you get free agency a year before. Yeah.
This is why there's going to be a strike soon.
Oh wait, you want to hear some dumb shit? Let's get into some dumb shit. I'm gonna read this one because when I read it, I had to read the paragraph 4 times before I even understood. So with Plesac, there's also repercussions. Quote, he began the year on option for 2 days, meaning Cleveland needs to keep him down for 18 more days this season to affect his service. With a full year of service, he would be on track to be a Super 2, arbitration eligible 4 times instead of the standard 3 after the 2021 season. If he finishes 2020 with 130 days of service, Plesac would not reach arbitration until after 2022. Fuck baseball. What the hell is this shit?
The best is how many issues this season is going to present moving forward. This bastardization of a 60-game season where some teams might not even play that many games, and you're worried about accruing days for that shit. This is going to be a gigantic headache moving forward for all the teams in these contracts because of the way they have those rules in place, and I love it. I mean,
the formula.
I can't wait till baseball shuts down and it all circles back around to this crap.
The formula is 186x divided by 67 to calculate your service time for this shortened season.
You're fucking kidding, right?
No, that's 100%.
No,
that's
baseball's
100%
dumb.
serious. In a typical season, there's 186 days, so 186 times the number of days you're on the active roster
Show your
divided
work.
by 67 because there's 67
Show your
days.
work right now. How,
Exactly. Baseball is
how
stupid.
No, Michael, where did you find this out and how?
ESPN.com/MLB/story/underscore/ID/296793798
That's fair. because
slash
there was a part
sources
of me
dash
that was
choices
all right,
dash
so
Mike dash Clevinger
he
dash
took all
Zach
these
dash
dudes, he took all
Plesac
these
dash
dudes'
break dash
careers,
protocol dash
put it in a
cause dash rift
spreadsheet,
dash Cleveland dash
threw a
Indians.
regression on him
He's still
and actually calculated this thing. Or you found their contracts right in the
No, I
fucking
read
fine
it.
print.
What the shit? You think I figured out contract? No, I don't read anything.
Yeah,
I
he went
know
to
you- I know you don't work during the day.
baseballplayerscontracts.com. Fuck, man. Of course,
Scott,
it was an article that he
seriously, no,
read.
Scott, seriously, do you not put you don't pet that has him? You don't think Mike would do that though?
No,
Go to-
nobody would do that because contracts aren't public things. They don't just have them laid out there. I mean, you can see terms of deals, the numbers are public, but the details of the contract are not public. And so for him to go through and with a fine tooth comb, Mike, no, he's not doing that.
I do
I'm
shit.
not
Are
doing
you
that. and I
kidding
love
me?
baseball. That's
I-
insane.
Let's talk football real quick.
Let's
What the
give him
hell's
3
going on
fingers
with the
of
Big
Johnny
Ten?
Walker and see what happens.
That's a good point. I could go down some rabbit
Yeah.
holes there. What is going on with the Big Ten? They canceled the season, and then it was rumored that they might be back,
Big
and then
Ten, who cares?
Justin Fields was on Good Morning America, and now they aren't coming back, but they are coming back. Who the hell knows?
No, you mean he was on Zoom with Good Morning America?
That's a good point. Yes, he was on Zoom. Matt, thank you, Matt. Mike reading the whole URL while Mook tried to seriously argue is the best thing the show has ever done. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
That
Stick
was
around.
an underrated thing that's happened on the show. That was
Stick
good.
around for when I read the Dame Dalla track. That may end up being the best thing the show
Is
has
it
ever
Dame?
done.
Make sure we
It-
get some craft brewed sports theater music for that, please.
I was
Exactly,
gonna say,
Scott.
yeah.
I got you.
Is it Mike? Is it reading or is it voice acting?
It's gonna be a dramatic interpretation, is what it's gonna be. Anyways, I don't know what's happening with the Big Ten. They're all over the place. Maybe Ohio State is gonna. They're trying to wrangle things up and get 5 other teams to play a 10-game season. I don't know what's happening with the Big Ten. Who cares? It's stupid.
Wait, what?
Yes,
So
exactly.
6 teams, 10 games. How the fuck does that work?
It's Ohio
You
State
play
math,
everyone
baby.
twice?
It's
Round
Ohio
robin?
State math. You do 186x divided by 67, and then that determines who you play in the second week of the season.
And he went to the Ohio State contracts to get this.
I bet you he did.
Fred.
Yeah.
No, I mean basically what
He
this
dug
boils
into
down
Ryan Day's
to.
contract and found the fine print. It was like, that's
I
what
mean,
happens during a
seriously,
pandemic.
all this boils down to is Ohio State. That's it. This whole will they, won't they, are they going to renege? It all is because of Ohio State. The rest of the Big Ten does not matter in this equation. Yeah, fine, whatever. Penn State's kind of hanging out over there in the corner. But it's Ohio State and their fans were like, we really want to see this season play out, even though it'll end the same way as it always does for us with us.
Well, that's what I was going to
losing in
say.
the playoffs.
Is it
But
really?
that's it. That's the only thing driving this. Nothing else.
Is it really Ohio State or is all the dumbass fucking parents?
I
I
couldn't
don't
just-
understand why Justin Fields at this point. If I was him, he's all set to go next year for the draft. I mean,
right?
because he thinks he can move up ahead of Sunshine. He wants to
he's
improve his
clinically
stuff.
fucking insane.
That's what he thinks. Though he thinks
he's
he can
literally
do it.
2 years behind him. He was going first overall when he won the very first national championship his freshman year.
He was
then
going.
It was solidified.
Hang on, wait a second. Hang on. He was going first overall before he took a snap at Clemson. Before they replaced whoever was there.
No, that's
they were
that's
like,
fine. Oh no, wait, hold on. Before
who was
Trevor
there
Lawrence
before?
was going number one overall.
You mean
before he took a
Watson?
snap.
Let's not slander.
No, it
you,
wasn't
Yeah,
Watson.
bitch.
There was somebody else that transferred out of Clemson.
Kelly, something or
Kelly,
other.
yes. That I think you're right, Kelly. It wasn't Watson.
okay,
Yeah,
but
no,
for
no.
all intents and purposes, it went from
No.
Watson to Sunshine.
No, but he did not start the season with Clemson. He was on the bench, and then literally when they took that kid out, because they took
No,
him
I
out within
remember it.
4 weeks, they said he can't be upset. He's being replaced by a future number 1 overall pick, and I was like, damn, for real already?
No, I remember everything, all the politics that went on, but it went from Watson to him. And what I'm saying is he had cemented it like, okay, everybody said first overall pick and they might have been tongue in cheek. But once he won the national title, it was cemented then.
It was
Justin
done.
Fields-
Kelly
Justin
Bryant,
Fields-
thank you, Gabe.
You're-
Kelly Bryant,
you're
thank you.
2 years late on this. Like, there's no improvement. The best you can hope for is 2.
Here's the
And that's
problem,
if you
though.
played completely.
No,
Here's the problem,
here's
though.
what it is. No. What he's trying to do is he's trying to avoid getting stuck in fucking Cleveland. Because we all know they're not going to be bad enough this year to get the number 1 overall pick, so they're not going to get Sunshine. They're going to be somewhere in that like 3 to 5 range. And
Now the
Fields
Bengals
is
are going to
sitting
be in
there.
position to get them, and they're going to have to think about it. So.
Wow.
I wouldn't. I mean, but Mike Brown is all in on Joe Burrow guy.
The problem
right?
is,
Like,
and Joe Burrow is the problem. He's the reason why there's this push right now, because Joe Burrow was like a projected 5th round pick going into his senior year, and then he had the season he had last year and becomes the number 1 overall pick. So people think that they're like, everybody's like, well, that could be me.
Yeah, but except for in Justin Fields'
But see,
case, where it's
but
like,
again, that's
dude,
what
you're
I'm
already
saying, though.
projected
This
as
is
a first-round
this shit.
pick. Like, you
This shit
can't-
has nothing to do with Ohio State or any school. This comes down to players and parents thinking like this is important to us.
But if I'm
And I
Justin
tell you
Fields,
right
I
now,
don't think I
no,
have anything
Ohio's-
else left to prove.
No, that's bullshit. No, you always have something to prove. You
No,
always
you
have something
don't.
to prove. That's are you kidding me?
Not when it comes to NFL draft. How many guys have gone?
Then why the
in
hell
their
is he out there
senior-
petitioning to play?
How? Because I have no idea. That's what I'm trying to ask.
That's what I'm saying. Because his parents are pushing him. It's all about this. Like,
But if he didn't want to, he wouldn't. What I'm saying is, in a position where Justin Fields is, there's 0 chance. As soon as COVID happened, I'd have been like, all right, it's a wrap. I'm sitting out this year. I've shown you everything I need.
right,
to do.
exactly.
Because the
Sit
only
on your ass and play Madden.
Right, and that's why I don't understand. Parents or no parents, whatever's influencing his decision, it's insane because he's already locked in as a first-round pick.
It's
He can't do
because
anything better than being
It's
number 2
because
overall.
you
That's it.
still have football guys like Joe Judge who make their coaches run the steps and run laps when they screw up, who are going to be like, he sat out. That's a character flaw, and I don't want that on my team. And then they drop him down on their draft board because he decided not to play during a global pandemic.
Well, now I'm here for this conspiracy theory that Mike just presented. Now,
Jesus
if Justin
Christ.
Fields is thinking, I'm doing this as a total PR move for NFL guys who will look and see, oh, he was a leader and he was out there trying
was
to play.
fighting
He's a
for it.
football guy. Now, if that is the reason Justin Fields is doing this, I'm 100% on board. If he's like, if he's out here actually doing this thinking, I know there's no chance of us actually playing. So I can prescribe.
He's
Scott,
just
Like,
it's-
I'm here for that. I'm here. Like, if they were like tomorrow, if they're like, hey, guess what? We're playing football. And Justin Fields is like, oh, wait, what?
Oh,
We're playing
fuck,
football?
it worked.
I'm sitting
Damn
out
it.
this year. I'm good.
See,
And I'm 100% here for that.
I appreciate that take, Scott, but like we're not talking about a quarterback from Notre Dame here. We're talking about a quarterback from Ohio State. Completely different.
Yeah, but we're talking about a guy that, again, was projected, Ohio State or not, to be in the top, the top 31 picks, regardless. Like, unless he just came out this year and was complete dog shit, which he wouldn't have been.
Look, all I'm going to say is Lamar Jackson was the 31st pick in the draft and was league MVP. So who gives a fuck where you were picked?
It's a good point. Tom Brady was a 6th-round pick. I'm reminded of that all the fucking time from Patriots fans.
I
So
mean, that's fine, except for these guys are still trying to capitalize on that
Right.
first contract as much as possible.
Right.
Like, they
So
care.
then you know
Let's-
what you do, Scott? You sit out this year and you just get all over IG and just rake in them dollars, right? Because if you ain't playing football, you don't have to be eligible.
It's a good point. You don't have to save that. Let's do this real quick because we gotta move on. We gotta get into doing that hockey. We gotta roast baseball, and I've gotta do a dramatic reading. Real quick, Rose Lavelle signed with Man City.
Yeah, girl.
Wow,
I
that's
love Rose.
crazy. Yes,
Right.
local legend
Local.
Rose Lavelle. world.
Absolutely
National
fantastic.
legend. I
No,
mean,
but
helped us
local.
win
Like she's
another
a
World
big
Cup.
time local here in Cincinnati. Like that's a big time.
I
Also,
know, but even still,
friend
she
of
knows
the
about
show,
Skyline Chili, man.
friend
That-
of the
that
show,
counts as
Wayne
national
Memmott.
thanks to the World Cup.
Friend of the show, Wayne Memmott coached her in high school. Like she's a local legend, man. Also a national legend. But yeah, going to play for Man City, that's a pretty big deal. That's
That's
good
huge,
thing.
man. That's absolutely big. It's big for women's soccer. It's big for U.S. soccer overall. Developmentally, it helps open the pipelines to get over to Europe, get players playing. It's awesome. And the best part is she's young. Like she's going to be over there for probably a decade, and building that up, bringing that talent back, bringing back those techniques back to America. I cannot wait.
I don't give a fuck. as long as she's
I just
bringing
wish they
that
would have
over.
found a jersey that fit her
Yes.
for her signing press conferences, but like she still looks good in that powder blue. And I never say that because fuck you, Man City.
Like they could lose every game and it'd be like, every 4 years she wins a World Cup. I don't give a shit.
On board, yep, on board.
I don't care what she does in between. those
Yeah,
4
you're
years.
absolutely right because they're still going to lose to them Lady Gunners, but it's good for America.
This has been Stick to Sports, brought to you by Boss Man Brands. Listen, everybody, you want a beard that looks as good as Scott's? You want a beard that is, mine's getting there? Or do you want to be clean shaven and looking fresh like Mook? Head on over to bossmanbrand.com.
fresh.
They got you anything that you want to do with your beard. Whether you're rocking that hockey playoff beard, a quarantine beard, or that baby face, our friends at Boss Man Brand can help you out. From supplements to help your beard grow stronger and fuller to beard oils, pomades, and conditioners, Boss Man Brand's 4-step process will get your beard looking its absolute best. And even if you don't rock a beard, they have razors, lotions to make sure your shave is buttery smooth. Head on over to craftbrewsports.com/beard and use the code SPORTS at checkout to get 15% off your entire order. All right, fellas, it is that time of the week. It is the part of the show that everybody gets excited about around this time of year. This is where Scott is going to delve deep into another bubble that he is a very big fan of. Can you tell
Active
him?
participant.
Near and dear to my heart.
Can you tell him vamping while I try to find the sound cue? There it is. All right, Scott, it is about time for you.
As they say in hockey, let's do that hockey.
Let's do that hockey, Scott. What do you got for us this week?
I know that the Avalanche are moving on, baby, beating those scum coyotes from the desert. I know that we've talked about it on the show, and the hockey purist will tell me that I'm wrong, but hockey does not deserve to be played anywhere below the what's the equator that runs through
Mason-Dixon line.
Man, that'll work too. Whatever line you want to get. They shouldn't be played lower than probably about Kentucky. So the fact that Arizona has been eliminated by my Colorado Avalanche, it's a good day. Good day here in the bubble. Good day for the NHL.
Oh,
They're
you
moving
own
on,
them
baby.
now?
No, man, that's just my team. I love the Avalanche. I told you, Adam Foote jersey. That's my thing.
How excited are you with the action that you've seen in the bubble so far, Scott?
It's been fast-paced, nonstop action, just like any other playoff hockey would be. The playoff beards are out in full force, so I like that. I mean, let's be honest. It's not as intense as the usual playoff hockey would be without fans. You know, that takes away things. But overall, in general, it's still playoff hockey. It's still better than anything else that's going on right now.
Drew, I'm going to give it to you. Do you have any questions for Scott as he does that hockey for us?
I do actually. So, Scott, you mentioned how there's no fans around, and so that kind of takes a damper on it. But like, is there still something to be gained from being a top seed here?
No.
No, there's no upper hand to being the home team.
Getting to wear whatever jersey you want's a pretty good
No.
perk.
Okay, so it's not like a situation where you can match up lines a little bit better because you don't have to put your players out till the other team puts their players out, and you can play, a little offense defense kind of deal.
I mean, yeah, sure, that can be a factor, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's just an ice rink. So, I mean, there's not really home ice advantage if there's no fans cheering for one side or the other.
Gotcha. So when the other coach puts out his fourth, which is also known as the worst line or the grinders on his team, and you're
Yeah, I've
able
heard
to put
about
out your
that.
first line with your stars, your Evander Kanes, if you will, and you're able to really take advantage of that. You don't think that would factor in a long series?
Well, I mean, of course, over the course of a long series, that'll factor in. But I mean, that's just the nature of seeding in general. I mean, the best teams, as dictated by seedings are always going to have better lines going up against the shittier teams. Like, what kind of question is that, Drew?
Oh, so like having the home ice advantage where you put your line out last so you could match your better line up against the worst line more often doesn't actually help you because you're in a bubble and there is no home ice advantage, is what you're saying.
No, I'm just saying that if you're a team that's good enough to have 4 lines that don't suck, and the other team that you're playing only has 1 line, then obviously you're going to have an advantage throughout the series.
Gotcha. So you think really what it's going to come down to is the team that's more balanced top to bottom. That's the one that's going to rise to the top, not the team with the stars that can really carry you in crunch time and exploit weaknesses when they're able to because they have home ice where they can put their line out last, have last line change.
Nope. It's all going to come down to who's got the most balanced team and the best lines going across the board.
Drew with his gotcha journalism here.
I was going to say,
Alex,
how do you think...
Alex Ovechkin can't play all the minutes.
No, he can't. But, he's got Tom Wilson, John Carlson. He's got a nice squad backing him up. So do you think really that upset was more related to the balanced lines or the goaltending ability?
Well, I mean, you weren't talking about goaltending. You were talking about the lines. I mean,
I was going to lead into that next, but then you threw out... Then you wanted to talk about overticking, so that's fine.
Shitty teams can do spectacular things if they've got a good goalie. So, I mean, there's that.
So then you're basically saying that, like, who has home ice and therefore line advantage doesn't matter whatsoever because it's all based on goaltending.
No, I didn't say it's all based on goaltending. I said that can elevate shittier teams in a playoff situation. I don't care about the line changes. That's all I'm telling you. Better players is what wins games.
Better players wins games, and having more points on the board at the end is what matters. Okay, I got you. So basically, if you're building a hockey team, your ideal state would be a bunch of very average players with a good goalie because that's better than having really good players sprinkled throughout and a goalie that's average.
Or I'll just stack my team like all those 90s Red Wings teams did. And, then when the missing piece is the goalie, then I'll just go get the best goalie available. I mean, whatever way you want.
All right. I'm stepping in here.
Hold on, Mike. How do you want to respond to that? So basically, what you're saying is you would rather stack your team like the 90s Red Wings and win a Stanley Cup as opposed to be like the 90s Braves and stack your team and still lose in the first round of the playoffs.
You're talking about 2 different things. Baseball doesn't.
Well, no, it's the same approach.
Okay, all right, I'm stepping in. We're putting an end to this. Let's bring this back a little bit. Scott, I've received some questions that have been I've been asked to relay them to you.
Thank you.
So we're gonna go ahead and go through these for you.
Jesus.
Drews were getting laboriously.
No, sorry, but apparently city council members are now calling for Tom Brenneman's job.
I mean, he gone.
That's because they're worried about losing their own job.
Like, I'm just saying,
He's done.
not to distract or detract from Mike's brilliant stuff, but go for it.
All right, here we go, Scott. Now that Tuukka Rask has left the bubble to be with his family, does Jaroslav Halak have it in him to be the number 1 goalie on a cup contender? And is he going to finally get a long run in the playoffs to redeem the way St. Louis traded him away for Ryan Miller in 2014?
I mean, if that didn't sound like something that you read, I don't know what does. But yeah, the simple answer is if your head's not in the game, you might as well leave. He's struggling anyway, so there was no reason for him to stick around in the bubble anyway.
Does Jaroslav have it in him?
I mean, everybody can rise up when the moment calls for it, and there's so many times. I mean, taking it back to Detroit with Hasek, how many times did Buffalo let him down, and he was the only player there? But then he goes to a star-studded team, and oh my God, he's the greatest. But these guys who were long overdue, Ray Bourque did it. When he moved on to my Avalanche, and so yeah, sure. I mean, there's always a case where a guy who deserves to finally be on a team that wins something elevates his game for a couple of weeks. And
Patrick Roy is still a bitch.
You brought
Patrick Roy's got a lot of rings.
You brought up Ovechkin.
He's Detroit, but that's fine.
You brought up Ovechkin. The Capitals avoided the sweep by the Islanders with Tuesday night's win. But do you trust Seaman Varlamov to close out the series? And how do you think Braden Holtby's play in the series will affect his free agency prospects?
This idiot's adding letters.
A guy named Seaman isn't going to win.
Yes, Seaman Varlamov. Is that right?
Seaman isn't anybody who I'd put my trust in. And as far as free agency contracts, the longer, the deeper playoff run you get, the better off you are. So, I mean, I guess that he holds his future in his
Are you
hands.
shocked that there's a hockey player named Braden? Does that shock you at all? Because it kind of shocks me.
No,
it
that's a typical
strikes
white guy name.
strikes me more as a baseball player or a tennis athlete.
Oh no, it's absolutely
Not necessarily a
baseball
hockey player.
name, but it's probably one of those guys who couldn't hit a ball, and so he decided, I'll just
To get hit by balls.
All right, let's shift gears here slightly. Will Jesperi Konami's continued development be enough?
Jesperi Konami?
Yeah, the Konami code. Will his continued development be enough to get the Canadiens back into the series with the Flyers, or is Carter Hart's goaltending just too tough to beat?
Flyers are going to win that series, but it's mostly
the
because
goaltending, right?
Canadians aren't very good at hockey.
What about Jesperi though? Jesperi the Konami code. He's pretty solid, right?
I mean, he's all right, but it's too late in the process. Philadelphia's got
That's
this
fair.
one.
That's a good
I
point.
gotta be honest, man. I don't even know who the fuck you're talking about because you murdered it so bad.
Katkanimi?
Kushkinov?
Nope.
I'm going to stick with Konami.
I think it's Konami. I'm pretty sure it's Konami. Do the Hurricanes have a chance to beat Boston now that Andrei Shishkinov is injured? And do you trust Sebastian Asshole and Tua Tagovailoa to step up and fill in that missing goal production?
Tua Tagovailoa is playing hockey now?
Yeah,
First of all, I
Tua.
think Boston has what it takes because they actually won the series. So,
Hey, there you go, Scott. He got the trick question.
I was gonna say, I was like,
he nailed
nice
it.
try.
I was, oh man.
Nice trying to slip me up,
way
but
to
I already know
go.
that Boston won that one. So
Atta boy. Scott,
Also,
I'm so
by the way,
proud.
just real quick, the
So proud.
Craft Root Sports curse is back in full effect because last week I get tripped up on Svechnikov's name and it becomes the Missy Elliott joke and we laugh. And then he goes down with that horrific knee injury like the next day. Oh, I felt terrible about that. That was awful. Like when I saw that come across on Twitter, I was like, why does that name look familiar? Oh, shit. We did that to him. Uh-oh. That's not good.
no, sir. You did that to him.
That's a good point. But Tua Tagovailoa, he's going to do good there, right? Also, I think it's Tuvo Teravainen.
Teravaini.
Tua Tagovailoa. That's who it is. It's Tua.
Tua Teravainen.
Yeah, that's what I said. Tua Tagovailoa. All right, let's do one last one here for you.
Also, it's Jesperi Kokanimi.
Any more
Oh,
brain
yeah.
busters you got before?
Yeah,
we,
one more.
end this
Now
segment?
that Tampa Bay, which is actually the team when I did the NHL quiz to find out based on my personality which team I should cheer for, I got Tampa Bay.
Because you're
okay.
a dirtbag loser asshole.
Yeah,
That's
pretty much. Now that Tampa Bay sent the Blue Jackets home, are they the most dangerous team left in the East with Andrei Vasilevsky in net, the scoring prowess of Nikita Kucherov, and the stingy
it.
defensive play of Mikhail Sergachev? What do you think?
No,
Huh?
Tried to fuck that one up, but you still got it right.
no, because
No, that
look
was
at
just a guess,
history.
bro.
Tampa Bay always fucks this up. They could be undefeated coming into the playoffs, and there would be a 100% chance that they would end up losing at some point during the playoffs because that's just what Tampa Bay does. They choke. So no, until they're actually hoisting the trophy, there's no way that the favorites to do anything other than lose again.
I
and
was
see
also
what the Tampa Bay
surprised
Bucks
at the
lose.
thought of them being the most dangerous in the East. Like, I don't know who else is left in the East, but I feel like Tampa Bay being considered the most dangerous in the East was a bold call by
I mean, they won the
this
President's
viewer.
Trophy last year and lost in what, the second round?
First round, right? It was the first round.
Was it the first?
Yeah,
I was
to the
just
Blue
gonna say, I was like,
Jackets.
Do you
There-
know
yeah, there's
how they
no
lost
way.
in the
They got
first round?
swept, right? Didn't they get
Nope.
swept?
They won the first game, then got swept.
Nice. Classic Tampa Bay. What a
Classic
bunch
Tampa
of
Bay.
losers. Scott, hats
Bunch of
off to
cucks.
you, man. You handled that well, bro. I'm
you know,
very
I've-
impressed.
You knew that hockey?
I know that hockey is what you
You know
wanna
that
say.
hockey.
You did
Although-
a great job. This was Scott doing that
I was gonna
hockey.
say, wait. You can't let him off with this, Mike.
Oh.
You're about to end the segment.
I hit the
Scott,
transition.
How are you feeling about your picks for the finals and then the eventual champion?
What did I say? Washington and Las Vegas? Is that what I picked?
I don't remember who you picked.
Those sound like teams you would say.
I'm going with Colorado and somebody out of the East.
Not Tampa
Well
Bay.
put.
Yeah,
Not Tampa Bay.
my Avalanche are gonna get it done.
And I was gonna say, to be fair, for a team that sorry, I just saw the gift. That's fucking awesome. so, so I was gonna say it's for a team that won 7-1-7 when it closed at a series. Scott, you're absolutely right. Don't even matter who the fuck comes out the East because the Lance are rolling, man. Well
No
played.
doubt.
All right, let's do a little bullying, guys, because the big story from this week. Wow,
Little
Matt Barr
what?
saying the Spotify logo is crooked. It is. I don't think that is. What?
Matt Barr, this is the same goddamn logo that's been up there for years. Shut the fuck up and give us some good content.
I feel like this is just something to derail the show. Anyways, let's.
Actually, he's right. It's like slightly tilted. I would never notice that in a billion years, but it's like slightly off center.
It is kind of.
Did you do that on purpose to avoid copyright stuff, Mike?
No, because we obviously had the inability to boost posts because we have Facebook's logo on there. So what the fuck? All right, we're gonna give a little special music here for this one because what we're about to do right now is roast some baseball. As you guys know, Scott and I, big baseball fans. Mookie, not so much. But
I was on board until the season took a shit dive because of Corona.
there was some bullshit that happened this week. And let's give you the quick recap here because we are running short on time today. Fernando Tatis Jr. was up at the plate. It was the 8th inning. The Padres were up 10-3. He's got a 3-0 count. Tatis swings away and hits a grand slam home run to make it 14-3. The next batter up, the Rangers threw behind Manny Machado as retaliation because Tatis broke an unwritten baseball rule. Everybody knows if you're up that big and you've got a 3-0 count, you don't swing. You just take. Because why would you want to score runs in a game where the purpose is to score runs? So we got a little upset about this. First of all, sidebar, Fernando Tatis Jr. is now this show's favorite baseball player, regardless of the fact that he doesn't play for any of our favorite teams. But the next day afterwards, he stole third base as they were up by 6, I think. Yep. Baller. I love it. I love this dude. So he is now the favorite athlete on this show, favorite baseball player. So we decided because of this and because of the bullshit unwritten rules and this crybaby thing that blew up on social media about Tatis hitting this grand slam, we needed to roast baseball and these unwritten rules. Scott, you are the master at this. Why don't you just start us off? And we're just going to feed off of each other. Let's just roast baseball for their bullshit.
Dear God, can baseball never get out of its own way when it comes to this type of stuff? Like, my brother texts me, he's like the lightest baseball fan ever. He claims to be a Pirates fan, but he's like, dude, you know how much I love baseball, but what in the fuck are they talking about with unwritten rules? You've got Tatis Jr.'s own manager out here throwing him under the bus, saying he'll learn. You know, the manager for the Rangers saying, you know, that's unacceptable. Like, what the hell is unacceptable about being a professional hitter who swings at a ball? If I'm Tatis, I'd go straight to the Padres front office, and I don't advocate for this for anybody, but I'm like, man, fucking trade me. If you don't want me to be out there doing what you're not paying me to do, because of course we know Tatis surely isn't making any money because baseball makes sure that when you're at the beginning of your career, you ain't making shit. He probably hasn't hit 67 divided by 100 and whatever the fuck days it is that he needs to get paid like a legit major league star that he already is. And you're telling me you don't want him to swing? Like, I'm going to my manager, I'm like, take me out of the lineup. Don't
Dude, that's what kills me. That's what kills me. Why are we even like? Why is this the fact that your own manager doesn't stand up for you? Like, that's where I feel like that should be an unwritten rule. Doesn't matter what you do, your manager should stand up for you and say, yeah, no, you don't like it, then don't fucking throw a pitch right down the middle on 3-0. We're going to be swinging every time. I would tell everybody if I was a manager, listen, every one of my guys has a green light 3-0. I don't give a shit. Everybody's got a green light. Doesn't matter what the score is. Doesn't matter what the inning is. Everybody's got the green light at 3-0.
Guys, you're missing the point here. The manager, he did actually stand up for Tatis, just in a backwards way. Like, look, you only get so many solid swings, and he's just trying to like tell Tatis, like, look, bide your time, and here's the thing, man. Like, we got to wait and slow play this, because to be able to build up a big enough following to be marketable to like Subway like Mike Trout is, you got to burn that star over like 2-3 years, right? Like, if you're going to do this on a Monday, then steal third base on a Tuesday, then, like, blow shit up on a Thursday, your star is going to peak and burn out too soon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw you under the bus and let this be more of a conversation for like 3-4 weeks. Then we can leave that in the next season where we intentionally every once in a while spike you in terms of controversy. Like, look, baseball's doing what they can for their stars, and they just want to make sure they elongate them because in a normal year, you've got 162 games. Because you can't be knocking a grand slam on a 3-0 count on a Monday and stealing third base on a Tuesday. You got to stretch that shit out.
Not during a 60-game season. That's doing those back-to-back days is equivalent to doing it once per month.
No, Drew's 100% right. Baseball is definitely known for being the sport that advocates for personality more than any other sport. They really want everybody to be. They want them to show their personality. They really want. Baseball players have the
just
personality.
When it's appropriate, when it fits within the time frame.
Baseball players have the personality of that girl at the party that you walk up to and you talk to and you're like, oh, fuck, did I screw this one up? Because she like starts immediately talking to you about some political thing that she doesn't really understand, doesn't really know. You're like, is this all you do? Like, this is the best you got for me right now? Great, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Every single baseball player is just that dull, annoying personality because that's what they jam down these players' throats from the time they're in the minor leagues, and that's what they force everybody to be. Joey Votto, everybody thought he was amazing because he dressed like a Mountie on MLB Network one time, and they were like, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen. That's how low the bar is for baseball players. That Joey Votto dressing as a Mountie on TV was hilarious. Okay, good job, Scott. Way to jump in and keep it rolling.
Just to be honest, it's really hard to follow it up because you're right.
No, I
wanted you to build off of that, Scott.
No, well, I was just gonna say the fact that baseball's ludicrous. This is baseball royalty. He had a father who was an all-star for the Cardinals, but if this guy can't make a not only that. This guy was drafted with one of the first 3 picks. Like, he has been a star in the making for a few years now, and he hits a grand slam, which should be fucking celebrated no matter what the score is. It's like the most exciting thing to happen in baseball, and all we're talking about is, man, you really can't do that when you're up 7. But motherfucker, if the Padres had lost 8-7, then what would you be saying? Well, you know,
and
like,
flip
that's what's
it.
so stupid about baseball's unwritten rules.
Flip it the other way.
Takes into account the Braves the other night came back down 6 runs. Had they worried about the unwritten rules at any points, they probably lose the fucking game. But here we are talking about unwritten rules. That's the only thing we ever talk about in baseball is how the rules that aren't written down govern the sport.
Okay, and flip it this way too.
Though,
Let's
Scott,
say he grounds out. Let's say he grounds out there instead of hitting that home run. He hits a soft grounder to short, and he's like, well, my bad, and he just jogs down to first. They'll be all over his ass because he didn't hustle hard enough. So if you're not hustling hard enough when you're getting out, but you're hitting well and you're getting runs, you got to just like be in the middle.
Look, guys, again, you're missing the point. Like, if you've ever seen the classic movie Bull Durham, baseball is a game of attrition and following the process. And so what he needs to do is buy into that, be a team player, wear your shower shoes, keep them clean, hustle and say the right things in the right time, because in the end it will pay off and that white manager will win a World Series. Okay, so like, I don't understand what the issue is here.
Baseball?
He needs to know when to save his home run swings and when to knock one to short, pretend like he runs hard and is a team player. Like, clearly all he did was concerned about himself and his own success when he hit that 4-run grand slam to put his team up by 4 more runs to win a game where more runs is better. Like, he needs to understand the bigger picture here. That's the point.
Baseball is basically...
And honestly, everyone has his best intentions in mind here, because that's why baseball has those rules about contract arbitration, right?
Well, and you know
they don't want players getting exploited too early in the career and burning out early.
Well,
that's why they do that, Matt.
What's even better is the unwritten rules say that you shouldn't do this, but yet his teammates were waiting at home plate to high-five him and celebrate the fact that he hit the fucking grand slam.
Except for Hosmer.
When you hit a home run, you have to celebrate it.
Except for Hosmer. Hosmer was calming the other team down. Hosmer was calming the other team down, saying, I got this, I'll talk to him. You had a fucking teammate saying, I'll talk to him. Yeah,
boy.
right, exactly. Baseball is basically the guy from your high school on social media who just talks about how both political parties are bad, and I don't like either one of them, and they don't take a stand one way or the other. This bullshit of there's unwritten rules, you got to abide by the unwritten rules. It's fucking bullshit. It's terrible. I hate it.
Baseball is the guy at the party who cock blocks you on every move you do. Like every single thing where you think you're gonna score with the girl, this guy comes up and makes sure that is not happening. That's who fucking baseball is.
Baseball,
though he's gay.
And the
That's
best
what
part,
it is. He
the
cock-blocks
best,
you even though he's got no interest in the girl. He's just
Right.
doing it just to do
the best part
it. I
is
broke character. Oh god.
that when we're talking about all
baseball's
this,
a cuckold. That's what they are.
when the Padres go to negotiate this contract, they wouldn't negotiate it and saying, well, there was that time when you followed the unwritten rules and didn't swing at that 3-0 pitch, so we're going to throw an extra couple mil your way.
Bumping you up.
No! Like, what the fuck,
Bumping you
baseball?
up. This has been a good roast of baseball. We were also going to roast the Space Jam uniforms that revealed this week. They came out. We don't really have much time.
But they look like shit.
They
There's
suck.
nothing
They're
else.
terrible. They're terrible. This has been a roast session brought to you by the sponsor that I'm about to pull up right
How
about
many times have
now.
we roasted baseball on this show? Too many times to count. Probably.
It's been quite a few,
No,
man.
I've supported them the entire time. I don't know what you're talking about.
We wanted to give a shout out to our sponsor, More Labs. Look, everybody, all you got to do is head on over to morelabs.com, use the code SPORTS, and get 20% off your entire order. They got tons of products. Products that are going to help you focus. They're going to help you sleep at night, and they're going to help you get up the next morning and function after you spend the whole night boozing on sour beers like I do. Head on over to morelabs.com, use the code SPORTS, and get 20% off your entire order. All right, fellas. Are you ready for the dramatic reading here? I feel like
Been
this
waiting
has
all
been.
night.
I feel
I'm
like
a
this
little
has
nervous, to be honest.
been. I'm quite nervous about this. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like it's been
This
built
is a
up a
lot
little
of pressure
much.
on you, man.
I thought at first about reading this like Mickey Mouse, but then I decided against that. So I'm just gonna read it in my own voice. But I will put
Why
some
the fuck would
emotion
you do that?
because I can do a pretty good Mickey Mouse impression. That's why.
Yeah, but why? Whatever.
Because I have kids, bro.
Yo,
I've perfected
I ain't
it.
asking about that, Mike. Why are you reading Dame Dollar about Mickey Mouse?
Well,
Like,
you'll
come on,
see,
spit them bars.
because the lyrics in this one just aren't that great. So Dame Dalla, if you don't know, he
You mean
released
to say
this
that
track.
You doubt Dame Dollar's bars?
not
Disrespect.
Dames in particular, but the teammates that he brought in on this one, little weak.
Oh shit,
little
they're
weak.
guest stars.
Yes, he's
All
got.
right, I get it.
He's got some guest, some featured performers on this one. So here we go. Dame Dalla. This was live from the bubble that was released just hours after they played in and made it into the playoffs. You feel me? Ha! Non-stop. Live from the bubble. What a time it is when negative is better than a positive. Know the rules, but we ain't making promises. We gotta feed the babies, bring them commas in. Bubble talk, bubble vibes, suckers talk on the line, mask on, so disguised. If you quarantined, free the guys. Dalla, presidential flavor, top floor with it. That's for Prezi. Feel like prep school. It ain't no women. It ain't no women. We speak to bank tellers, but ain't no snitches. Long way from Dave's. It was low chicken. Bow bow. I'm real special. My mama remind me daily. So,
Ninjas.
let's go with potatoes. So potatoes
So
can
nuggets.
never play.
Nuggets,
Yes. So nuggets can never play. On Jesus and all my babies. See me say what up, but I know they plot on my lady. On occasion I pull a nutty. I'm rich with sprinkles, a crazy nugget. I ride in cars and cars. I struggle even pronounce them. Do this in my sleep. I'm discreet and they make announcements. Energy the same on the street or peak of the mountain. Even when they hate, I still let them drink from the fountain. This, that boss flavor, my cloth tailored. Wish they could touch me. Toss flavors to lost haters. Nuggets disgust me. Soon as I was up, a lot of cousins came. I bubbled up.
Chicken nuggets or
Nah, it was the other nuggets.
okay,
I
cool.
bubbled up, but I never let my bubble change. You feel me? Then we go back to the chorus. Live from the bubble, what a time it is when a negative is better than a positive. That's probably the best line in the whole song. I'm not going through the rest of that. Blah, blah, blah. Gary Trent Jr. comes in. Free Trent. You said you got that bubble talk. I'm looking like, God damn, look how that bubble walk. It go up, down, inside, everywhere you go. I follow your ass to the trenches. You know how that go. But I said, whoa, you know how this shit go? Don't play with me. I'm not them little bros. Don't play with me. I'm not them little woes. Don't play with me. I'm not them little foes. Look, I can't say it enough. it could be great and dandy, yeah, but you playing tough. Just play your cards right, and maybe we manage to text and call, go to the mall, yeah. And you know you're going to spend it all, yeah, Gucci, Dior. Because I can't play that role unless you really matter, nah? Yeah, babe, play your part, play your role. What I mean, sit back when I'm on the road. Yeah, I'm a player, girl. Yeah, I'm in my zone. See, you get it. I'm playing. Girl, I'm in my zone. I'm out here hooping. I love that. That's a good aside.
I ain't heard Magic City yet. These dudes are awful.
I'm on the court. I hit it like a free throw. Off the DM at my baby girl. Yeah, no, yeah. What the fuck? And use a go-getter. Super dope, hella chill. And I fuck with you. You got a little cute nose. You so cute. You so cute with them little pink toes. And you know I can't forget it. Yeah.
Nose?
My queen. Yeah, legit. You know I'm with it. Yeah.
Fuck?
I pull up, roll up. We ain't in no Civic. Yeah, Range Rover,
don't
big
doubt
body.
that Civic though.
Right, that's hating on the Civic. Range Rover, big body, it's extended. 21 years young, I'm trying to get it, yeah. Babe, whatever you said, I'll forget it. And my Latinos already know how it go, yeah. Love it when they call me Poppy on the low. And this, that bubble talk, and this, that bubble flow. Yeah, GT on the mic, but it's time to go. What a fucking terrible verse that was. That was awful.
I got this COVID for all the hoes.
Wow.
Is it who's the this just says Little on here. Who's Little that plays?
Nasir Little?
Nasir Little. Okay, it just says Little on this one. He says, we making money, put it back in the community. Elevation of my people, speak it fluently. Neighborhoods where parents go to jail for truancy. Safe in the bubble so nothing COVID can do to me. Masked up. I masked up. From whip down, no daps, fist pounds, can't escape what's around. Only thing we got is each other in this town, because it's the bubble life. We isolate with lots of lonely nights. We use our platform to put up a fight for all the things that we know that's right, because off this court there's so much to life. Do it for the fam, the true meaning of sacrifice. Magic bands got to scan the mat, every entrance of business. Everywhere feels like I'm doing a sentence. Little dudes looking up, asking how I did this. Stayed about my business, worked hard, not gifted. Live from the bubble, what a time it is when a negative is better than a positive. Know the rules, but we ain't making promises. We got to feed the babies. Bring them commas in. What does that mean? Can anybody tell me? Bubble talk, bubble vibes.
3 commas, man.
Suck us talk on the line. Mask on, so disguised. If you quarantined, free the guys. That was a dramatic reading of Dame Dolla's Live from the Bubble. Here's what I'm saying.
God.
It's awful. Like people were eating that up. It's not good.
Well, the best part too, though, is that if you watch his music video, he's got a Bart Simpson with like headphones on buddy icon.
Sorry, I'm laughing at Biscuit, who just said Mike just made every woman so dry. Ben Shapiro got hard. Fantastic way to get us out of that one, Biscuit. Appreciate that one, bud. This is Last Call, brought to you by Dugout Mugs. We got the hookups for you, everybody. Dugoutmugs.com/craft. Get 15% off your order. Drink from a bat just like we do here on the show. Pop bottles with half baseballs. Hit them up, dugoutmugs.com/craft, and get 15% off your entire order. This week, we had a couple different delicious beers. Let's see here. Let's find the thing. I was drinking pineapple sour from 105 West. Scott, what were you drinking this week?
I had Hatchet Job by KCBC.
Love KCBC.
KCBC makes some delicious brews, man. They make some
They
really
bring
good, really good beers. So Hatchet Job from KCBC. Drew, what were you drinking tonight?
I was doing the Dunkel Donut from the Alementary Brewing Company.
All right, and we were rating these beers on the baseball unwritten rule scale from crossing the mound when you're running back to the dugout all the way to bat flips.
Bat flips.
Scott, where does Hatchet Job rank for you?
Hatchet Job is going to stay where I initially rated it, which is stealing a bait. You're up an undetermined amount of runs. Whatever they decide in baseball is unacceptable. It never got better. It didn't get worse, but it's a very solid dipper. But
Good.
It's nothing to write home about. The apricots are tasting fresh, though. I can tell you that much.
Well, good. I'm glad the apricots come in well for you on that one. Drew,
Bitch.
how does Dunkel Donut rank on the baseball unwritten rule scale?
I gotta tell you, Dunkel Donut, it was solid. It was good. It went down well. I didn't really get that coffee though. It was smooth. I got some of that chocolate. It was a solid beer. So I'll rate it as the what is it? The Phantom Toe Tap on second when turning 2. You know, whatever you call that there, right? Where you don't actually
the neighborhood play.
Yeah, the neighborhood play, right? Exactly. Where like you don't actually hit second base, but
they
give it to you.
actually wrote that out of baseball. Like there's an actual rule now. That you can no longer
well,
do
no, that makes sense though too, though, because they got the review shit right now. But
yeah.
You know, hey, Tatis was still safe on third.
I had pineapple sour from 105 West Brewing. I'm gonna call this one not talking about a no-hitter in progress. It's a pretty solid beer, and I feel like not talking about a no-hitter is one of those rules that is so steeped in OWG folklore that it's absolutely absurd. So it's up there for me. It's way up there, and I like this beer a lot. This is one that I think if you are getting into sours, you would like this one because the pineapple does cut the sour flavor quite a bit on that one. You get more pineapple flavor than sour beer flavor. This has been Beer of the Week, brought to you by Dugout Mugs. Hit them up, dugoutmugs.com/craft for 15% off your entire order. Fellas, this has been a show. We did a thing.
We did do a thing.
We put out.
Once we found our groove getting past talking about penises for the first 10 minutes of the show.
A lot of dick talk.
You know the worst part though is like that's when we had our most live viewers.
I know there was a
half from that.
Ton of people tuning in for the dick talk.
We should talk more about dicks.
All right,
next dick talk stay for
next
the rest.
Next week, craft brew dicks.
The testicle talk.
We're just gonna go craft brew dicks next talk.
Craft brew dicks.
Hog talking. We're gonna do some hog
There's
talking.
a lot of different parts of dicks we could talk about too, like the foreskin, the head.
Wow.
The shaft.
I would say follow us on Twitter, but you know, probably a lot of tweets about dicks over there. But go check it out anyways at Craft B Sports. You can also hit us up. Oh wait, hang on, record scratch. We got to go back real quick. Hang on. I know we're running a little low, and I apologize. We said we were going to be done, Scott, by 9:30. We're a little over.
I know it. We have to give our Hard Knocks thoughts. Man, the Rams are going to suck again. All right, go.
Also, Sean McVay is basically nothing more than John Gruden Part 2. He's annoying.
That's what you record scratched for?
No, I record scratched for this. Head on over to craftbrewsports.com/shop. We have new designs up in the shop. We're unveiling what we're calling the silhouette series, where we're gonna have t-shirts, different sports, different sayings on them. We got a Do That Hockey shirt that's available now. We also got a baseball dinger slinger shirt. We've got a soccer shirt that calls out that it's more entertaining than baseball, and also as an ode to our old school listeners that know that I cheat all the time in golf. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying with a golfer. There's going to be a ton of stuff that we continue to add, so head on over to craftbrewsports.com.
I've already got an idea for a new one.
Good. Send it to
here's the thing, too.
If you send it to me, wait, actually, do you want to bring it up now? Like, if it's good enough, I can have it up before tomorrow.
Because what I'm seeing is missing
or do you need to
there
workshop
is a
it?
Basketball silhouette.
We're missing basketball and football right now.
We need one that says "Nugget, please."
Yes.
That'll be up tomorrow.
Nugget, please.
That's going to be
basketball silhouette.
That will be up tomorrow. Look at craftbrewsports.com/shop.
And y'all better show up soon because this shit's selling out. It is flying off the shelves because we are buying it ourselves. But doesn't matter.
Please.
Like it's still flying off because I'll tell you what, we gonna be looking fly as hell this fall. All right,
guys, this is getting some traction on social media. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I know you think we're joking, but this is 100% real. We put up a post on Instagram about these shirts that are available. Pat Light, who was an MLB pitcher who pitched 16.2 innings in 2016. He has 16 Ks, 16 walks in his career. He gave up 22 runs, has a career record of 0-1 with an ERA of 11.34. He liked our Instagram post because right now there's a 15% off deal. He liked it, so it's big time. Like Pat Light liked it.
And the best part is, though, Mike, that built on the earlier success of the week when that other dude said we do this for a living in our living room.
That's a good point. A dude said we do this for a living.
He thought we did it for a living, but for two, what's most telling is he thought our wives let us out of the hole in the ground to do this in like a more general area in our own houses.
Yeah.
I know, what a dummy. I do this in my kitchen.
Yeah, I'm in my basement. But if you do want to help us make a living out of this, head on over to craftbrewsports.com/shop and help us out. Oh, why did it pick up right there? The music didn't even restart. Are you kidding me? What is up with that? That's some BS. There we
Man,
go. Okay,
you get your shit together over there on the board.
I got it, bro. I got it. Look,
as hell.
follow us on Twitter and Instagram at craftbsports. You can like us on
Joe would have
Facebook.
excuses.
That's a good point. Where is Joe? Anybody heard from him? Let's get Joe back. We got to get Joe back. Go hit us up on YouTube. We do some clips of the show up there. We're going to have some other fun stuff that I got ideas for that's going to be up on YouTube. Subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get your podcasts. It helps us way more than you know. Give us a 5-star rating. Leave us a review. Help us out. That puts us higher in the search engine rankings. It gets us in front of more people. So please help us out. Subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get your podcasts. We're on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify with their bullshit, twisted logos, Stitcher, Google Play. We're all over the place. Thank you guys for tuning in. We really appreciate it. It's so much fun. So thank you for putting up with our bullshit. We will see you guys next week.
Don't be a nugget. Be non-nugget.